Jesus, it's literally like Groundhog Day in here, right? Living in America is Groundhog Day of American nonsense, right? Like, I did a video yesterday on Duante Wright and the kid in Maryland that got shot playing with a toy gun in a driveway and pulled a knife after the cop shot him and wounded him. Little fat chubby white kid. The cop feared for his life. A wounded 16-year-old fat kid on the ground takes out a pocket knife, not a Rambo knife, not a bow and arrow, a little pocket switchblade knife that I had probably when I was a kid. The cop feared for his life and put bullets in him. Woke up this morning, Chicago, 13-year-old shot, hands up, in the chest. Cop even said he felt really bad about it, right? What is going on? This morning in Indianapolis, FedEx facility, mass shooting. Between cops killing unarmed people and fearing for their lives, right? And mass shootings, it's like it's every other day. Come on now, America. Second Amendment people, I spoke to you yesterday about you guys want everyone to own guns and everyone to have gun rights and everyone to have gun ownership in America, right? But you guys have to deal with, this is not what I want for my kids growing up in this country. It's not 1776 where having a gun in your house is akin to having food, water, and heat, right? Having a gun is not the end all be all to modern day living, right? We live in a house. I don't need a gun in this house to feel safe, right? And I even tell my Republican friends, and my wife, she's in a jury assignment now, and she's seen a lot of these cases in New York involving gun violence that don't make the news. People are, shot, but it's not a homicide, right? But there's a lot of gun crime that happens, and she was so surprised. She's been doing it for a month, grand jury, and she's like, I had no idea gun crimes involving firearms around where we live, right? Next to Beverly Hills, right? The county I live in is the highest taxed county for real estate, for property taxes. We pay the most taxes, right? The next highest place is Beverly Hills. And we have gun violence, gun crimes, petty gun crimes, like, to the extent that she's sitting there, 7 hours a day, and she's like, case after case, she's so surprised. She's like, what the hell? It's New York. No one owns a gun in New York. We don't know anyone that owns guns in New York, right? And now she's coming home saying, honey, I think I want to buy a revolver when all this is done. I want to buy some sort of gun. And that's how it starts, right? You see the crimes and you're like, I gotta own a gun, right? And maybe a cousin comes, stays with us, that has mental issues, and my wife leaves the gun somewhere and he gets the gun and he commits a crime with the gun. Or she commits a crime with the gun. Or kills someone with the gun that we feel like, we need to buy because we're noticing everyone is committing gun crimes. And that's how it starts. It's American nonsense. Second Amendment people, it's nonsense, right? Second Amendment rights were important in 1776, 1800, right? You had slaves. You didn't want your slaves to get away, and you probably had big black guys for slaves, and you had to control them, right? Because if you didn't have a gun, right, you didn't have slaves. I could tell you that now. You could have a whip, you could have kitchen knives, but if you didn't have a gun, you could not own slaves, right? Slavery would not exist if white people didn't own guns coming into this country, right? If guns did not exist, white people would not, America wouldn't exist, basically. I've heard that said before. There's no way white European men were going to take this country from Native Americans without guns, right? Without cannons, without firearms. It was not going to happen. Slavery was not going to happen without guns, right? So there is some importance to white people, Republicans. Second Amendment rights it's something that's ingrained in their DNA that they have to own a gun. Fine. Fine, but if you want to own a gun, I'm gonna have to own a gun too, right? My neighbor's gonna have to own a gun. Everyone's gonna have to own guns, right? Second Amendment rights don't end at white redneck people in trailer parks. It's everyone's gonna have to own a gun, right? I know there's state laws and local laws to prevent people from having firearms in public and stuff like that. And we even just found out that in New York State, the most anti-gun place in America, you could legally own a gun as long as you can't take it outside your home or brandish it outside of your property, right? But I could legally own a gun in New York, right here. It's crazy. We didn't even know that. And then we're talking to my friend that's a cop. He said, yo, yeah. No one knows that. But yeah, you can legally own as many guns as you want in New York, but you can't take it outside your home, right? That means I could probably shoot someone from my window and be in the right. So it's this gun epidemic, right? And then to compound the issue of this is that you have cops now, and it was said it's not the training of police, it's who they're hiring to be police. Are scared of their life every time they think someone has a gun on them, or they think, I'm reaching for my wallet, I'm reaching for a gun. They're scared for the high life. I'm gonna kill you. It's just stupid, right? You can't have two things, right? You can't have everyone owning guns and good policing, right? You just can't have it, right? And I think gun control, we need gun control, right? It's not 1776, not 1800s, right? I don't have slaves in my backyard that I need to carry a gun on my hips to control them, right? The British Empire isn't invading my town this weekend, so I don't need a gun. I don't need to be in a militia, right? The Canadian Army isn't coming down in the border to invade us. I don't need a gun. The Mexican isn't invading us, right? I don't need a gun, right? In fact, we get invaded every election cycle by Russia hacking our elections, right? Right? If you literally compare the American Revolution against the British Empire, right, to what Russia's doing to us now, it's worse, right? That was the British coming back to do whatever when they had guns and cannons and ships, right? They attacked us physically, right? But you could destroy a country with a cyber attack. You could destroy an economy with a cyber attack. Look at what coronavirus has done to this country, right? Trump blamed China for the last year. China this, China that, China that. China's like, we don't care. You can blame us, we don't care, right? It destroyed our American economy, this coronavirus, right? From inside out. It wasn't guns, it wasn't bullets. Having a gun in my house didn't protect me from coronavirus, right? Having a gun in my house didn't protect me from Russia hacking the elections. So why is this importance for Second Amendment rights? Do white people, do y'all have something I don't know about? Do you have a plan, right? Do you want to do another storm the Capitol with guns? Is that what this is about? Do you want to take the country back to slavery so you have guns to control slaves? Because that's the only point I could see having a gun back then, right? To have a gun and to always be at war is not, no one wants to live like that, right? So there must have been a daily reason when you think about it, right? I carry a wallet every day, right? Carry a wallet every day because I have to buy stuff. I have a Metro card, I have to travel. I no longer take the public transportation, but I have things to get me around my daily routine. In COVID, I had hand sanitizer in my pocket. Boom, right? Daily things, right? I need this to get around my life daily. I don't need a gun. I don't need an everyday carry pistol. I don't live, and I said this before, and I argue with my Republican friends down south that say, oh, I have guns, I carry a gun everywhere I go. I'm like, you need to move. Because I don't want to live in a place where I have to carry a gun all the time to feel like a man, or feel like that's the only way I could get back home to my family, by having a gun on me or in my car. I don't want to live like that. I've never lived like that before. I don't want to live like that now. So I don't know. I always said, like, what? You need to move. If crime is that bad that you have to carry an assault rifle in your trunk and a pistol in your socks, then you need to move, right? Because I don't know what hood you're living in, right? And then you go to visit these guys and they live in the country in, a residential, private gated community in a nice house. And they have to carry a gun in and out. Like, come on. wake up. And this is American nonsense, Groundhog Day. It's April 14th, April 15th, April 16th. Next week, I'll be making a video. And I was thinking of changing the channel's name to something else. But next week, I'll be back here on Monday, back here on Friday next week, making the same video. It's Groundhog Day in America. And I don't know why people don't want to wake up and move forward. We have to move forward, right? Yesterday, I spoke about police, improving the police, right? And my wife actually said to me last night, her father's a doctor. And she grew up with him in the house, and he would always complain. Even when we dated, he would always complain about medical insurance. And that's why he actually voted for, his politics went the way it did. Because he was tired of insurance, and it kind of takes money out of his pockets, right? Malpractice insurance that doctors all have to pay if they kill someone or mess up, right? Because medicine is kind of privatized, so they have to have insurance for that, right? Policing is not privatized, right? But the same people that want to privatize everything, don't want to hold officers accountable for their actions, right? Police officers, just like doctors, should have insurance for if they kill someone, right? As taxpayers, when a police officer in my town kills someone and that family sues the police department has to pay millions of dollars to that family for a wrongful death suit, who do you think is paying for that? Who do you think? We are. It's coming out of my wallet. It's like, here you go, officer. Give this to the family that you just shot their son. Give my money that I worked hard for, right? It goes to the police department. It goes right back out for wrongful death lawsuit. Millions of dollars. This is supporting the police, guys. Blue Lives Matter. This is Blue Lives Matter, right? The taxes that we pay to live here, it's gonna go to some wrongful death suit. Millions of dollars, and it happens everywhere, every day, right? So wake up. Right? Wake up. If you complain about taxes, complain about privatizing things, then give police officers, and you don't want to reform police officers, then they have to have some sort of insurance, right? Because I don't want to pay for that. They have to pay for that through insurance, right? Take it out of their paychecks monthly as an insurance thing, and then it covers whatever, right? Insurance companies love to insure things. They'll probably be making a lot of money that way, right? Don't take it out of my pocket, because I'm tired of this, right? I want police reform. I want to defund the police so they get more money to improve policing. And they say, no, we don't want that. So then pay for your own shit. Don't come to us, right? My tax dollars will go to keep the lights on in the police precinct, to whatever you need, right? The day-to-day salaries, whatever infrastructure you need for policing, I'll happily pay that in my tax money, right? But when it comes to lawsuits and wrongful deaths nonsense, pay out of your own pockets, right? Carry your own insurance. Doctors do it, right? If I'm a doctor, I have insurance for my practice, right? Because doctors, their profession, they could kill someone if they do something wrong, if make a mistake, right? Mistake a gun for a taser, pay out of your own pocket, right? Your insurance should cover your shit, not mine. Should be my money. And that's it, man. I'm just fed up, man. Fed up. Just fed up.